Good afternoon. So welcome to this new channel. For those of you that have followed me on some of my other channels, this channel is completely separate. So let's keep it separate. We are going to keep the comments on as we go down this journey. We're going to be just tackling a few things that the Most High has placed on me. Again, we're going to leave the comments on for now because I'm open for suggestions. As many of you know from previous conversations on my other channel, we'll be discussing kind of like some things we need to be doing in these end times. This is a spiritual channel. If you are an atheist, please feel free to stay, but please keep the negative comments to yourself outside of the chat while the comments are enabled. You know, the word says, search the scriptures daily. So we are calling this channel Daily Search. And we are going to be going cover to cover. I recommend getting a 1611 King James Version. That's right, King James Version Bible. No New Living Translations, none of that. For those of you that want to go in on King James, we've heard it all. That he was an Edomite, that he was Sodomite, we've heard it all. Let's not do that here. The purpose of these videos and this play log will be, as he says, search the scriptures daily. A lot of us have issues with that. We'll read everything else but not the word, some of us. And it's not about how much you read. You can read the whole book every day, read 2 words every day, just search them daily. These are not lessons. I mean, we will come on and have some special reports, but these are just chapter by chapter, verse by verse. There are some great outlets for lessons. My favorites like Mike Malice, GOCC, Thoughts, Camera, Action. Those people put together some Watchmen. They put together some really great lessons, which should be line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little. But this is to obey the words of search the scriptures daily, and then we think ye have eternal life. So these are not going to be long videos. This may be the longest. We're just going to be trying to knock out a chapter. Sometimes if they're really short, we'll knock out 2 or 3. Sometimes if they're really long, we'll knock out just one, or half of one, or whatever, however the Spirit moves us. So let's all be respectful. If you are one of those people that's like, hey, I'm a New Testament Christian only, that's great. Please stay, because it is all for edification. You know, the New Testament is what literally testifies of the Old. So, and if you're an Old Testament only type of person, please stay with us. Maybe you'll grab something when we go past Malachi. But again, I recommend the 1611 King James Version Bible. If you cannot obtain one, you should be able to download some free copies. If there are a lot of you that are having troubles finding that free platform, then hey, I'll try and find a link and provide it for you as these videos move forward. This channel will also show a few other things, like if there's a lot happening in the news, we may do a special report. That'll be in a separate playlist, and we'll be talking about growing your own food, getting some things. Now, of course, the Most High is our safety and who delivers us from times, but, you know, be wise as serpents, harmless as doves, whole ant and grasshopper story, but that's neither here nor there. The purpose of these videos will be just to try and knock out a chapter a day if possible. And unlike a lot of places that say to start in like Matthew or John, I'm not sure why they do that. Well, I'm sure why they do that, but that's neither here nor there. We are going to jump right in and just start with Genesis 1 and 1. Again, I'm open to suggestions. I'll eventually leave an email address where you can send me questions, and maybe we'll have a couple of one-off videos where we'll answer questions, and I'll try to respond as best I can. But my responses will be with the scripture and not with my opinion. So let's try to steer away from bashing other groups, other religions, other people, other ideologies, whatever. I think if we just read chapter by chapter, verse by verse, let everything fall where it is, hey, As Christ said, let the wheat grow with the tares. And with that being said, let's get it. We are going straight into the creation, Genesis 1 and 1. In the beginning, one last thing. I will be using terms like God or Jesus. Don't turn it off. We do know that there was no letter J, that a lot of these are heathen terms like Lord and Baal and all of that. But there are a lot of new people coming in. You can't throw meat at people when they haven't had milk. So if I sit here and say like the name of the Father, Ahaya, Ashar, Ahaya, I am, a lot of people will be like, what? So we will get to that, but we're just going to be reading in terms that newbies can come in and kind of grasp it and stay along with us. You may hear me saying who the world refers to as Jesus Christ instead of Yeshaya HaMashiach. Because a lot of people are going to be like, what are you talking about? Who is that? But there is a time for that. But let's start from scratch. Let's start from the basics. We were all there at some point, I'm sure. All right, so let's get it. The creation. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. The first day. And God said, let there be light. And there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. Second day. And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. Again, pay attention to things that we're hearing. You know how man's clock and calendar tells you that the day starts at midnight. Well, here it says the evening and the morning was the first day. So just keep that in mind. The darkness and the light. We got that from the beginning when he said, let there be light, that the darkness came first. Don't get into 6 o'clock or midnight or daylight savings or, oh no, the sun rules the day. Just read and ask the Spirit to give you understanding. The third day, and God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear, and it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas, and God saw that it was good. And God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself, upon the earth, and it was so. And the earth brought forth grass, and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind, and God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the third day. Day number 4. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. And let them be for the lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and it was so. And God made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. Again, and the evening and the morning, telling you over and over again, evening and morning were the 4th day. Day number 5. And God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. And God created great whales, and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly, after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let fowl multiply in the earth. And the evening and the morning were the 5th day. Day number 6. And God said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle, and creeping thing, and beast of the earth after his kind, and it was so. And God made the beast of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And God saw that it was good. Now we go into the creation of man. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. The giving of food. And God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat. And it was so. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning, again, the evening and the morning were the sixth day. So we're going to stop right there. That's plenty. That's the first chapter. And like the Most High was showing you, he did it all. And then, of course, the seventh day, the day of rest, 7, not 1, but the seventh day, the day of rest, the day of rest. So we're going to stop right there and rest this video, and we'll pick it back up in the next video at verse 2. But there is something that I want to read to you guys, and it will be very quick. It is from the Holman Study Bible. Now, we don't go with Amplified Bibles and Study Bibles. Again, right now we're doing just chapter by chapter, verse by verse. Lessons, we do line upon line, precept upon precept. But I thought this was pretty interesting, and it'll be brief. So when we were reading Genesis 1:1, it says, this opening verse of the Bible, 7 words in the Hebrew, establishes 7 key truths upon which the rest of the Bible is based. First, God exists. The essential first step in pleasing God is recognizing his existence. Hebrews 11:6. Second, God existed before there was a universe and will exist after the universe perishes. Hebrews, first chapter, verse 10 through 12. Third, God is the main character in the Bible. He is the subject of the first verb in the Bible. In fact, he is the subject of more verbs than any other character, and performs a wider variety of activities than any other being in the Bible. Fourth, as creator, God has done what no human being could ever do. In its active form, the Hebrew verb bara, meaning to create, never has a human subject. Thus, bara signifies a work that is uniquely God's. Fifth, God is mysterious. Though the Hebrew word for God is plural, the verb form of which God is the subject matter is singular. This is perhaps an allusion to God's nature. 6, God is creator of heaven and earth. He doesn't just modify pre-existing matter, but calls matter into being after nothing. Psalms 33, 6 and 9, and then Hebrews 11 and 3. 7th, God is not dependent on the universe, but the universe is totally dependent on God. Hebrews 1 and 3. All right, so we got through this first one. Again, this is something that has been placed on me for quite a while before I even did this, to get this together. Hopefully you're able to read along with me and just stay with me as we go along the journey. If there's something that is helpful to you, please leave a like, subscribe and drop a comment, and click the notification bell, because we will be dropping these multiple times a week. Thank you so much, and I appreciate the ride. May all of you be blessed. Shalom.